It's podcadzo.
Okay, welcome back to
Welcome back
Podcadzo,
to
the official
Podcadzo,
companion
the
podcast of the well-known
blah, blah, blah.
indie rock band Kadzo. You're joining us during a heated
Colin
debate.
just said some bull.
Julian's out of his mind.
Colin just said some straight bull.
Let's do a level set. We've talked about just Tatum on the
Yes.
pod before.
Plosive.
Insert video here.
You know I'm such a fool for you. You got me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger?
Just Tatum.
That's just Tatum. Now, Julian thinks that guy is genuine.
He is
That he's
100%.
not
He
joking.
100% thinks that he has like a unique take on modern American
Okay, I'll
classics.
give you maybe he thinks he has a unique take.
A
and
good
that
unique
take is bad.
No, a unique good take. He thinks that he's got something special. No joke artist that I know of puts out like let's see here. He made a post 2 hours ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
So wait, you're
3
saying
days ago,
he's prolific? So
3
he's
days
not
ago, 3 days
joking?
ago, 3 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago. He posts like 40 times a week. And every single post that he makes is just like the name of the song that he's covering. And then I'll just read this one
Yeah,
for an
but he has
example.
to say
This was a
prolific
birthday song for
to
an
stay up on
amazing
the
fan,
bit.
Andrea. I hope you had a great birthday, and thank you so much for being a part of the Just Tatum team with the prayer hand emoji.
I think that's just I think he's
I
deepening
love this
the
song
bit.
so much.
He's leaning into religion.
To me, what make a friend or a perfect companion is deeper than what is physical. It's about faith to me. It's about still believing in something. It's about having great morals and your spirit. And then it kind of goes on. But like, no one that is making a joke page puts that many words in a joke post that are like super heartfelt and genuine.
I think
like,
it's just maybe an elaborate bit.
it's a bad one then. It's not funny.
It's funny.
I mean, it's funny because he's
It's funny.
sorry,
to
just Tatum. It's funny because you're bad at singing, but
no
it's
one
also
is that
heartwarming because
unaware to not know that
dude,
he's a
are you
terrible
kidding
singer.
me? So many people on the
Okay.
internet are that unaware.
That's true,
They
but-
literally post pictures of them or videos of themselves being like, "We're the best band ever. Or, I'm the best singer
But you
ever."
get a
Or like, "I've
sense
been
from
practicing
just
for like
Tatum
15
that
years."
He knows what, like, he's not an idiot. He knows what he's doing. He's
No, I
not
get the
so
sense from him
dumb
that
to
he
think
is an
that he's
idiot.
like, I'm a gifted singer. I'm like doing my thing.
Nah, he is a
The
he.
thousands
He
of people
thinks
who
he's a
comment on every
gifted
post
singer,
that
and he fell
I'm a bad
ass
singer,
backwards. I don't
they're
think that
wrong.
many people post that he's a bad singer though.
Well, 'cause
His
it's-
comment section is
you
generally
don't
pretty
need to say it.
positive.
Yeah, because it's
Like,
everyone
let's see here.
leaning into
Voice
the bit.
of an angel.
Sarcastic.
But it also has the most interactions. So like,
Yeah,
it-
that's the thing. That's how he gets interactions. He's like, I could try to sing well on TikTok, or I could just make videos where I'm singing well-known songs like hilariously bad, and people will comment.
well, but they're
and that
not
will fuel the algorithm.
hilariously bad. He's like in the ballpark of the songs always. He just doesn't have a good
That
singing
is something I've been
voice.
confused about
Like
lately.
people
with him
that
is-
like joke people that sing songs badly, they just do not they're just not even close to what the song
but that
is.
has a short shelf life.
But he's always had his own take on songs, but it's always been like close to the original.
I
He
feel
never
like his early stuff, he was singing terribly.
And you got a fast car. I got a plan to get us out of here. I've been working at a convenience store. Managed to save just a little bit of money. Won't have to drive too far. Cross the border and into the city. You and I can both get jobs. Finally see what it means to be living.
Like, not even
wow,
close
it's
to hitting any of
almost
the
like
notes.
the more time you put into something, the better you get at
Well,
it.
yeah, but I
it's
think
almost
he's
like
like,
he's dedicating
this
time
is-
to his craft.
This is too obvious. It's funny for like a couple of songs. It has a short shelf life though. I can't just sing every song terribly. But I'm not going to go and sing songs well because that's not funny and that's not going to get interaction. So I'm going to be a little bit more nuanced, get a little bit closer to hitting notes, have my own thing go in where I'm like,
Okay, but then I've seen a lot of people on the internet who are way worse than Just Tatum who are not joke artists. So like
yeah,
the whole argument of it's a joke account because he's bad, I don't think that adds up because there's a lot of accounts that are really bad that are super genuine still. And I think I've never seen a post of his where it's not like, I feel like maybe I'm just fucking stupid, but when I read like one of those fucking enormous captions that he writes, I always feel like he's like, wow, he really thought about this.
Well, maybe-
And, like,
maybe it's
but it's
both.
never funny. It's never like, there's never even like a tongue-in-cheekness to it. It's always just about like, I love this song. It reminds me of a better time in my life.
but that makes it funnier is being like sincere about it.
But all
But
of the
you're right,
joke
we
artists
can't know
on
his true
Instagram,
intentions.
all the joke artists on Instagram, they give you that occasional peek behind the curtain where it's like, okay, this is definitely not real. Like, there's even been times where we like the Sean Stevens thing. I was like, at first, I was like, is this dude joking? Like, this has to be a bit. But then you just have to like go really deep to find out. Nah, this isn't a joke. He actually is like doing this for real.
Well, we were talking about Sean Stevens too, and I think it was kind of the same. I think Sean Stevens started off really genuine, like thinking he could be like a legitimate artist, and then got noticed for his stuff being cringe, and he's again leaning into that.
But I don't think Just Tatum, from the outside, it doesn't seem like Just Tatum thinks that he got popular for being cringe. It seems like he thinks he got popular for having like cool covers, you know? Like, because like, yeah, his comments are always like pretty positive. There's the occasional one that's like, bro, this is trash. But for the most part, people are like, wow, this is good.
Yeah, because
And,
that's
like,
his
this is
audience
unique.
now. It's people who.
But it's been
And
that way. I've been following this
'cause
dude
if-
for like 3 years. It's been that way the whole time.
Yeah, but like he found his audience of people who just enjoy him doing a stupid thing that he knows is a joke.
But then don't you think that would get old to them and he would start doing something different after like 3 years?
He's just able to nurse
He would
milk the bit for longer than most on TikTok are. And that's why he's a genius.
Well, but
That's
he
why I
also
respect him.
hasn't like skyrocketed in interactions. He's been like around the
Yeah, he's been
same for
consistent.
follows.
Yeah.
But the joke, people always have that moment where they blow up into the stratosphere and they like have that one thing that makes them super famous for like the 30 seconds or whatever. And I feel like he's never had that. Like he's never been like.
But that's not important to the argument, whether he's blown up or not. The argument is he
Well,
joking or
no,
is he
but
not?
he hasn't tried to, is my argument. Like he hasn't tried to have that moment where he's like, okay, I'm gonna put this out and this is gonna be like my 10-second like sound bite that is trendy. Like I feel like he's never played that game really. He's always just been like doing the exact same thing, which is like, I'm gonna go stand in a field,
I feel like his
I'm gonna
break,
sing a song.
I feel like he did have that, and it was Fast Cars
And you got a fast car.
by Tracy Chapman when he covered that song. And
Maybe
he
a little
covered
bit.
it so badly. Everyone was like, "This is funny. This dude can sing badly in a way that's interesting and funny that other people can't." And that's when he found his audience, and he just kept doing that sort of thing. That's when I found him.
I don't know. I don't believe it. I think that he does it for the love of the game. I think he's real. I think he's a real guy.
Well, he can be genuine about loving the joke and stuff.
No, I think he is
I
genuine
think that's the
about
case.
the singing of the songs. Like, I think he approaches it from the perspective of, I'm singing this in, like, my way. And the only reason I think that is because I see a lot of people on Instagram who post, like, regularly, like, all the time, and they're like, I am a fucking genius, and I am so good at everything music related, and then they're actually just doing fucking nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the trend of, like, Instagram music these days, is that there's too many genuinely bad musicians who are enabled to release things because they're, like, convinced that they're good because they just have that echo
here,
chamber.
let's break it down. There's that. There's people who think they're good that are bad. There's people who think they're good that are good. There are people who...
There's people who think they're good that are good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Most successful artists think they're good and they're good.
Sure.
So we have think they're good and
Never
they're
met a
bad
successful artist.
on one side. think they're good and they're good. Those are two quadrants. Then we have think they're bad and they're bad. We don't see anything from
There's
those
not
people
really.
because they don't do anything. And then we have think they're bad, but they're good. We also don't see those people. Or sometimes we do. A lot of successful artists also think they're bad, but you have to think you're at least a little bit good to even put yourself out there. And then there are people who know they're bad and they're bad and they put that out. And that's mostly what we watch on this podcast. That's like the world peace Jesus.
Again.
Dude, you can't think that dude doesn't know exactly what he's doing.
It's just...
The one that's confused me the most is the rough around the edges dude.
God didn't make me perfect, sure as hell won't ever be. I'm a little rough around the edges, but baby, that's fine with me. Rough around the edges.
You have to think that, like, okay, the world peace guy...
You know,
Like,
I think
all
he's a
those
little
songs,
like just had
all
him actually. I
those
think he
songs
enjoys
are-
what he's doing,
yeah,
but
all
he
those
knows it's a
songs
joke.
are originals, and like, oh man, it's just like what kind of artist pours their time into originals that they know are bad? Like he's got like full length releases on Spotify.
Because that's how you get. He's getting money from it. He's blowing up on social media because people love making fun of him.
But you don't get
Is
paid.
gonna
You
get-
still don't get paid that
It's
much
gonna.
from
I
the
mean,
streams
he's
that
not
you,
making
no one is
money
gonna
right
listen
now,
to
but there's a chance that's gonna.
But no one is
equate
like,
to
I'm going to listen to my
monetary
favorite
value.
joke artist on Spotify. No one's
I
like,
bet-
I'm going to go hop over to Spotify and listen to my favorite joke songs.
No, but they have conversations like we're having right now. Like, oh, dude, have you heard that idiot world peace Jesus?
But I don't know.
Here,
I think-
let's see how many.
I think there's like a level of innocence to both of those where it's like that world peace Jesus dude might have like Asperger's or something. Like, you know, like I'm not sure if he's like mentally all there. Not to say that people with Asperger's, you should probably cut this part.
No. Land the plane. You're doing great. You're doing great.
He seems like he's got something else going on, which to me makes it seem like he's not faking it. Like,
So here, I just found the song.
or he's just
I
a
Believe
really,
In.
really good actor.
I guess the Spotify name is just World Peace.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. He only has 1,200 monthly listeners.
Yeah. See, I think he's real.
So
And
his
like,
hooks-
okay, so like Big Daddy Mark, he thinks he's great, and he's pretty good. He's got the vibrato for sure. Mm-hmm. Like, he's another example of someone who got a bit famous for maybe being kind of cringy and weird, but they are actually taking a very genuine approach to the shit. Like, taking it seriously, doing pretty, like, whole-assed renditions of other people's songs. Like, I think he's an example of
I don't know him.
somewhere where the line, yes, you do. Somewhere where the line is, like, a bit more blurred. But I think that the rough around the edges guy is 100% genuine. Like, he thinks that he's like a country outlaw
Yeah.
badass.
But that's where it gets so deep and so nuanced, and where
But
it can be really
that dude's
mind
not
blowing.
even that dude's not even that followed. Like, he doesn't have that many followers on the gram, and yet he still just continues.
but
to
maybe
do
he's
the
just doing
same-
it for a laugh, just for himself and his buddies. And he's like,
But I really don't think so. I think
That-
he's taking
I know.
it seriously.
I that of all the guys we're talking about, I think that's the guy taking it the most serious, which is funny. But he's hard to tell with.
I want to find.
This probably isn't. This is so niche, our world of TikTok cringe.
Big Daddy
A lot of
Mark's
people
having a
probably
moment
don't
right
care.
now.
But I guess if you've seen recent episodes, we've played a lot of these people's music on the pod. No, I've never seen this dude.
Really?
Yeah.
This dude plays like concerts and stuff. And he also has an album. He has several albums of originals.
Okay, I get it.
Like, Okay, let me play you one of his originals. His originals are fucking insane. And then I have a final pitch to make, and then we can move on from this topic because it seems like you're mad now. I made you mad.
Yeah, I'm livid. No, I'm not mad.
His last record that he put out is called In Mark We Trust. And the single was called Ohio Orgasm. Listen to this.
That's some deep fried production there.
It's overbaked.
That is overbaked.
Double baked. Yeah, so I think that's a good example of a dude who people found him and follow him because he's funny, but he's not trying to be funny. And he was never trying to be funny.
Well, yeah, that's just a sad case of, that's like Guitar Bay maybe, of just getting a following because it's so fun to make fun of you.
Or like this dude. I think I've showed you this guy.
It's all very... Use good headphones. Can't tell if this is good or bad.
You can never really tell with him. Yeah. I'll see if I can find some of his piano improv. Okay.
But anyways.
Okay, so my final pitch that I was going to make was that I see... I'm going to go back to Just Tatum really fast. I see our homies in Alistair Cowboy follow Just Tatum. So if you see this, Alistair Cowboy, I need you to do me a favor and tell me, is Just Tatum taking it seriously? Is Just Tatum trying his best and putting his heart into the game? Or is he a joke musician who is trolling us all? And I don't really know if there's anyone else.
It's obviously the latter.
There's no one else I can ask.
We've argued about it for like 15 minutes now.
It's not obvious to me.
This was all to say that TikTok is horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm never on TikTok, but I deleted Instagram.
Good for you.
Off my phone. Just to take a little break from it. Just because I wanted a little break from social media.
A little break ski?
But I worked an event over the weekend that Julian and I were just talking about. We don't need to get into it on the podcast. But that event left me with a lot of downtime during the day. So I found myself a couple times mindlessly opening TikTok because I was still on my phone and scrolling it.
You never got rid of TikTok when the whole...
You know, I did get rid of TikTok then. So I had TikTok deleted off my phone when the ban happens, and then I wasn't able to get it back. And then I was able to download the app again. And so I downloaded it then. I was like, just in case they were taken away. And Kadzo has a TikTok page. Not like we have any... Well, sometimes we have some good interaction on TikTok. But, you know, I have
good
it just
bot
in
interaction.
Case. Yeah, probably. And so I was looking at TikTok, and then all these musicians kept popping up on my feed. People taking it seriously, trying to take it seriously, doing the same music marketing bullshit that every other band is doing. POV, you've found a, post pop punk artist.
Guess who our drummer is?
Yeah.
I hate those so much.
And this is, we were just talking about this. I was debating, I don't want to just genuinely call out or make fun of someone trying their hardest.
No, that's not the intention.
On this, yeah, I don't want to be like, hey, look at this idiot, he sucks. But so I was debating even bringing this up on the pod, and maybe if we did bring it up, bringing up their name or bleeping their name when I brought it up. But I think we can be diplomatic enough to talk about this and cite a specific example of someone who's doing really well on TikTok and gaining a following from it, but in a way that is sort of, for lack of a better word, cringe and annoying to me.
Yeah, I think
to me,
my perspective.
This is my subjective take on this. A lot of people like it. And again, this guy's probably talented. He's doing better than we are on the social media platforms, which has translated to listeners, but it bothers me.
That's what it boils down to, is like, I'm not coming out here trying to be like, look at this dickhead, they suck. But it's like, wow, look at this. This is on TikTok, and also it has like 100 times the engagement and following of like a lot of bands that I know, including us, that like take a genuine approach and don't half-ass anything, and I think are decently talented bands who got into the music first, and then by proxy of being a band, you kind of have to have some sort of social media presence, whereas a lot of these TikTok people, it's like they had a skill or an interest, and then they decided to use TikTok to try and have that skill become like a monetary gain for them.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference in its entirety, is like, and even a lot of bands on Instagram these days, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to call any bands out specifically. I don't know any bands that are like this. Genuinely, all the bands that I know and that I like, and all the friends that I have that are in bands and stuff like that, they always put the music first. But a lot of bands on Instagram fall into the trap of like thinking that if you just have good social media presence first and you have good content that people want to like watch repeatedly first, then everything else falls into place. But as you kind of see, like with the World Peace Homie, he's got like 187,000 followers on Instagram and only 1,200 monthly listeners on Spotify. So the connection, it doesn't always follow through unless the product speaks for itself. Some bands have good Instagram or social media presence in general, and then they also they have good listenership on Spotify because the product is good. But a lot of the bands get lost with the social media side of things, and then they forget that they're also supposed to put out good music and cohesive works of art and stuff like that. And then there's bands like us where we don't pay attention to the social media first. It's like the band comes first, and then everything that happens on social media kind of just happens because it has to. Like, if we didn't make a post on Instagram about the podcast, then people wouldn't know we're doing the podcast. And if we didn't make a post on Instagram about the record, then people wouldn't know we had a record. And that's just the world we live in. And it fucking sucks. It's dumb as shit.
Every single Instagram and TikTok post we've ever made has been made under an extraordinary amount of duress and pressure. I haven't enjoyed the process of any of it. I hate it through and through.
And you know what? It's time for you to pass the reins over to me and let me have a turn.
Yes. Okay,
Because I'm already miserable as it is. Why not just pile on to the misery? Save one of us.
So I was looking at TikTok, and it was literally every other thing I would swipe to was POV, you found an artist. POV, you found an artist. Some other, insert any generic band marketing tool. But one that kept popping up, and again, I'm not trying to hate on this guy specifically, was Slow Joy.
Never heard of him.
Okay, a little bit of hate. I saw that name, and I hated it. I hate the name Slow Joy so much. It feels like maybe starting around 2015, there was just like an indie band generator site where you could enter indie band name generator site where you just spun the wheel and it gave you some variation of the words slow, joy, wave, current. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many?
There's a band that I can think of right now that fits this category.
Yes. And they were on the forefront of adopting the word slow.
Were they?
Maybe like somewhat early adopters.
But they also fit into that
But I remember
category
like 2016, 2017.
They looked at the H&M catalog, and then they just went into the store and they pointed at what was on the cover and they're like, I want that, please.
Yeah. But
for like 10 years.
I saw the name Slow Joy and I was like, how is there not already like a band who had like two pretty solid indie pop singles that were like played to death on Sirius XM in 2017 called Slow Joy? But I don't know, I guess somehow all of those bands skipped the name and this guy found it.
Good for him.
So that's where I'll hate the most on this person. Just I don't like the name Slow Joy. But every video that came up was of the same song, which I said I wouldn't hate it, and I guess this is being a little bit hateful. But the thing about these people who are like TikTok first, who are savvy enough with social media and marketing to know like, hey, I can just start like a pretty calculated social media campaign and get a following and have like a music career from that. They're good enough musicians to like sense a trend of what kind of music is popular and just make a very generic version of whatever is popular at the time.
Yeah.
So,
or have AI do it.
I'm trying to find the type of video I kept seeing from because I was like, why?
It's like I can
slow?
already picture it though. Like I know exactly.
Here we go.
This isn't bad.
I know, yeah.
Sounds like a song. It's produced all right.
And again,
I hate that just super dead thwappy snare is the trend for everything now.
Again, like, I really don't want it to come off as me just, hey, this guy sucks, he's annoying, his song sucks. That's a good song.
Yeah.
It has all the makings of a good song. It's catchy. But it's just, okay, now here, let me.
No, I know what you mean. Like, okay, so I can't think of a specific band off the top of my head, but there is the overall, and again, it's like the bands that put social media first, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, the bands that put that first, like you said, they know for a fact that their engagement coming from that platform isn't about the whole song. It's not about like a 4.5 minute song being solid from start to finish. It's about like a 10 to 15 second hook or something like that can get lodged in people's brains. And so there's a huge uptick in people. And I think like Fantano has said this. I think even fucking Rick Beato has said this, where like the whole record is suffering because like no one gives a shit about making a whole good record anymore.
Yeah, you need a clip.
You need a clip, and then the rest of it can be, like you said, generic filler that just sounds like music.
That's when I started hating on the song. It's like there's 1,000 videos this
Music
guy has
band.
It's that clip of the song, and here are what the videos look like, and I'll describe it after for our audio listeners, but we'll put it in the video too. Have you ever seen a concert with that sort of arrangement?
Never once.
Yeah.
They literally, it's a TikTok shot.
It's a TikTok shot.
He's like, I'm going to lip sync this song while you guys dance around me, okay?
Yeah. So,
And we're going to film it on an iPhone, by the way.
Dude, and even if you did that, that's fine. Hey, I'm going to invite 30 of my friends to surround me in a club, and like, you know, I'll be in the middle singing to a microphone as if I'm singing.
Yeah. That
live.
didn't sound like Block Party or Blink-182.
That's also what pissed me off. Yeah, the
And
caption said, my homie says this sounds like a mixture between Block Party and Blink-182.
I've said this on our podcast before, but I'll say it again. And I really hope if there's one solid piece of advice I can give on this podcast to any band that might be listening, it's this. As soon as you open the door for comparison of what you sound like on Instagram, the first thing people are going to always do is point out that you don't sound like them. Because the human default is to be a dickhead. And like, I feel like 90% of the time when I see a band that posts that, POV, you found a band that sounds like Nirvana and Deftones combined in the 90s. And then one of the most popular comments that's pinned, or not pinned, but just liked a lot, is always someone being like, bro, you don't sound like either of those bands. And all you're doing is giving people the chance to invalidate your comparison.
But,
if you've never said that
just
to begin with, people might draw their own conclusions.
People
and be like,
don't care about
these guys kind of
negative
sound
comments,
like...
though. Back to my original point, it's just like, hey, if I say that, a bunch of people hop on this saying I don't sound like that, trick the algorithm and be like, people are engaging with this. A lot of people will see it.
As far as the algorithm's concerned, it doesn't matter. But just as far as the overall commentary that's still like the interactions that people still have with music. Like people are still just looking for an opportunity to hate on you. If you say POV, you found a band that sounds like fucking U2 and Coldplay, you're not going to find very many people that are like, oh my God, you're right. Like,
this is a perfect marriage of U2 and Coldplay. So the Slow Joy popped up a bunch of times on my feed with a dozen other people just like this.
by the way, come on
thing.
the podcast, Slow Joy.
So
defend yourself.
Again, I'm not trying to hate on Slow Joy specifically, being like, this is the worst guy on TikTok. What made me pick out Slow Joy is I then, after watching a couple of those, listening to it, Slow Joy popped back into my feed with this. So it's a video. He's filming himself laying down on a tour bus.
It's like,
It has probably one of his songs on it, over it. And then there's a caption over the video that says, I stopped trying to be the quote unquote cool artist. We already have too many of those. Slow Joy is for the homies. That made me mad.
kind of makes me mad too.
Your name is Slow Joy,
Not going to lie.
and you're doing the videos that you're doing. Who is trying to be more, and you have a song that sounds like what we just listened to. Who is trying to be more the cool artist than you right now?
That's like the classic Midwest emo trope of like, man, I'm just too nice and that's why girls don't like me. Like, oh, I'm just too generous and people always want to take advantage of me. Like, I'm so nice and I'm always coming up short because I'm so nice. Like, it's
just a nonsensical
attitude of, like,
statement. I'm not trying to be a cool artist. I'm just trying to be the artist that all of my friends think are cool.
I don't want to be this cool guy that everyone looks up to anymore. I just want to be real. Like, I just want to be myself again. And like that trope is reserved for douchebags. Like,
and what's more disturbing is like the people who are successful like this on TikTok. When you look at the comments, I just can't believe those are real people commenting that and being that sincere about like, dude, you are the homie. You're the best. I love your music so much. You got a new fan.
dude, I mean, I'm sure that a fair amount of it is bots, but also like you have to think so much of the music that younger people, and it's going to sound like an old guy thing to say, but so much of the music that older people or younger people like these days, they find it on TikTok. And again, they are not concerned about finding a song where like the song is good. It's just that hook that is catchy that they care about. And
so
for most people, if an artist can put out that 15-second hook with like something that is not even necessarily like entertaining to watch, but just something that's memorable to watch, people like that shit now. Like when the whole like AI music thing started and like there was like AI SpongeBob covers of like corn songs, like I was like, man, this shit's so dumb. No one's gonna like this. And then like 3 months later, people are unironically like listening to it. Like they're like, no, like I'm not listening to this because it's funny. Like I just think it sounds really cool. Like I just really like the way that the SpongeBob AI sings this corn song. Like the bar for what is considered passable music or even just good content is lowering at an alarming rate. And it's being confused by bots for sure. But a lot of people, I think, they just don't give a shit about quality. And
no, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's the point I'm bringing to. First, let me again say it, Slow Joy. You're cool, man. Like
you're for the homies.
Yeah, you're for the homies.
Stupid motherfucker.
I don't want to shit on you.
I do now.
You make good music. Like you're obviously a talented dude, and you're doing well on social media. You're just the best example of the thing I saw a bunch looking at TikTok that I wanted to cite.
That's the thing.
And if you hadn't made that Slow Joys for the Homies video, I wouldn't even be.
If you're really for the homies, then log out of TikTok and put out a record that is worth listening to.
Just talk to your friends about the music you're doing.
Yeah, like put your shit on the radio or
just lean into being, I'm trying to be the cool artist. I'm trying to be TikTok famous. I want my songs everywhere.
Yeah.
People humming it. That's fine. That's what most people are trying to do. That's what we're trying to do to I I've never thought about it in terms of being the cool artist. I want to be a cool band that people genuinely like.
I want to be a band that people want to come see.
Yeah.
And if people listen to our podcast, I want people to think like, wow, those are some like relatable dudes who are occasionally kind of entertaining. But I never want it to be like, we're never like clip farming on this podcast. It's never like, okay, you're going to say this and then I'm going to say this and then we're going to clip it and it's going to go on TikTok and it's going to be fucking huge. Like that has never happened and the focus has never been about that. And so I think that's why we are cool. And that's why I think that all the bands that I like in our scene specifically are cool, is because they still take the approach of the music comes first and then social media is merely a tool to market that thing that we created. It's not the other way around. It's not like I made this cool video and I got a shitload of views on it, so I guess now I have to make a song and put it on Spotify. Like, no, it's not. It shouldn't be that way if you're a musician. If you're a content creator first who happens to play music, fucking sure, that's fine, I get it. And I see people on Instagram who are genuinely really fucking good musicians who clearly also, like you said, have the savviness to know trends and spot like their ability to fit into what's popular at the moment. And that's good for them. I'm not ever going to hate on someone like that. I think there's a lot of people who've gotten popular and use their platform to push their art first. But then, yeah, the majority of what I see these days is just dickheads fucking around, being ingenuine, or the people who are, in my opinion, I think being genuine, but just bad. And they're popular because they're bad and people are secretly laughing at them, which doesn't feel great. No one wants to be like the middle school bully who's like, haha, like you suck.
Attention at all feels good,
but
to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
if you can't tell the difference from the other side of the phone screen, then who gives a fuck at the end of the day?
So I may stumble over this as I try to articulate my point, but the way you and I both, it's fair to say, grew up, everyone likes music. Everyone loves music. Not to sound like a total tool, but you and I in high school and earlier liked music in a different way than a lot of people did. Enough to like make that our social lives, start bands when we were like before we could drive, obsessively dig through old CDs, get into all these old bands. So the way
and just have a dialogue about music with your friends.
Exactly. The way we grew up listening to music and finding bands that we liked very much tuned our worldview, and that stuck in us. So I just could never imagine, even if I found a band that made great, original, totally unique music that I loved, if I found that band through a video on TikTok that said POV, you found a band before they blew up, that's game over, pal. I'm never going to be a fan of your band like I am a fan of name any of the bands that we're obsessed with that we talk about all the time. Just because that's the last thing I could relate to is someone doing that.
Yeah. Well, and I guess I don't want to just be redundant and say the same thing over and over and over again, but when we were growing up and we had those bands that we appreciated and that we looked up to and the music that we liked and all that stuff, again, it was largely like a suspense thing. Like, say like U2, How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. We were both, I think, pretty into that record when it came out, like from the jump. But like before the record even existed, like we knew we wanted it. Like the mystique, there was still that mystique in music of like, this band is putting out an album and I don't know what it sounds like yet or what it looks like yet, but I just know that because it's them, I want it. It's almost like music is like the complete opposite now, where no band has any mystique. They put 100% of what they do on the internet. Which
is ironic for us to say with an hour-long weekly pod where we talk about everything that's going on. But I feel like that's different than just spam posting everything you're doing. And most of the time we're just talking about things we're interested in and genuinely want to talk about on the podcast.
Well, and when the How to Dismantle record came out finally, it was like still, the discourse was still driven by the content of the record first. and people had time almost to like unload the record and listen to it and like form an opinion of it before there was like that mass like zeitgeist communication that happened about the record, where like reviews started coming out and people started like having those conversations with their friends of like, oh, did you check out the new U2 record? Yeah, I liked it. Or no, I didn't check it out. Should I check it out? Like that discourse doesn't happen anymore in any regard. It still happens in very small pockets, you know, like I get together with like Galloway and we'll talk about a bunch of new metal drops and it's very fun to do. Or like we'll talk about, you know, bands that we both like that are putting stuff out. But in general, I feel like that big zeitgeist conversation doesn't really happen anymore. And it's a lot more compartmentalized to where everyone just likes the thing that they saw on the internet. And there's so many different things on the internet that like no two people can really realistically like the same thing and share like a conversation about it. 'Cause like, you know, you'll show me some video of some dude on Instagram that has like fucking 150 million views and I've never seen it. Whereas when we were kids, if 150 million people listened to How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb, it would be
150
like
million people did anything. It was the biggest thing in the world.
biggest thing in the world.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, so it's like dogs chasing tennis balls. If your way of finding music to like and listen to is like just going to what is trending on TikTok, there's a billion of those happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
You could find Slow Joy, be into his shit for a second, and then the next page, you're going to find a song just that catchy, someone marketing themselves just the same way. And if Slow Joy worked on you, you're like, oh, sweet, different tennis ball to go chase. Here we go. Slow Joy is out of my mind forever now. I just, like I said, and so it's hard to make a comparison to the bands we liked as kids because TikTok was not an option for them. Hey, we've been talking too long. We got to...
It's only 7:20.
Oh, yeah, you're early, Colin. Yeah. We're talking about TikTok. We're talking about TikTok.
You got any good
bands.
opinions on TikTok music?
Hate it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what we thought.
Hi up. But so bands that we he said he hates it.
Yes.
For the listener. Bands that we grew up with didn't have the option to market themselves on TikTok. So it's hard to say like, you know, would Radiohead have made POV, you found a band called Radiohead right before they blow up.
Yeah, like you found a guitar band that got into synthesizers and now they write sad music on synths instead of guitars. Like you would have been, I feel like you would have just been so ruthlessly mocked for doing some shit like that as a famous band in the 90s or 2000s. Like
I hope so. It's
it
the
was
way
all
it should
about
be
it was
now.
all about being like genuine and like trying to put out a product that speaks for itself and something that has a shelf life of like decades versus minutes, you know? And this all just sounds like we're just like old people complaining, but like at the end of the day, I feel like it hurts. It genuinely like hurts. Like it sounds cheesy, but it hurts
Everything.
art.
Yeah.
It hurts music. Like a year ago, 2 years ago, and I've kind of already said this too, but like I was convinced a couple of years ago that people would still only like good shit. I was like, no, if it's bad, people won't like it. Like if it's AI music or whatever, TikTok music that sucks and it doesn't like grab people in a genuine way, people won't like it. People won't react to it. People won't hold on to it. But I was 100% wrong. Like quality of stuff doesn't fucking matter. You can put out trash and no one really cares. And even if you put out something that's really bad, there's still a chance that you'll get pretty damn popular just because people are like cringe, like people are like, yeah, cringe fucking edging you and like,
Yeah. You could be just Tatum.
yeah.
On that note, we've gone
Just
full
Tatum.
circle. Just Tatum.
Say his
We'll,
fucking
we'll
name
make
right.
we'll make this one a shorty, short episode.
Yeah. I have a present for you though.
Oh, all right.
It's a,
For the pod?
no, it's just for you. But
No, but do you want to present
yeah,
it
on the pod.
Okay, yeah.
Because it fits in with the pod. And it should be a present that you already know you're getting.
I think I know what it is.
But you'll see we have half of U2 and Funko Pops right here. And my mom said that simply just won't do. So she got us the full band, baby.
It's in a single box.
We got the whole U2 group
That's so funny.
on the Zoo TV tour. So not only prime U2, but prime era of U2. And look at Adam, bro. He's so cute.
They all look great.
They all look
They look
great.
amazing. Thank you so much,
I
Amy.
guess we're Funko Pop
This is
people
the only
now.
thing. Yeah. I saw this tweet a while ago that was like, Funko Pop son or Stanley Cup daughter. You can't kill yourself.
I'll find a way to kill myself.
We're Funko Pop sons now. And this is the best gift I could ever imagine.
Truly.
The best intro to Funko Pops that anyone could ask for.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much. Thank you, Amy.
I can't
It means
believe-
a lot.
I can't believe that it's Zoo TV. Like,
Yeah, it's so niche.
so niche.
So dope. Awesome.
And she just found these at like Five Below or somewhere like that. I don't know if it was actually Five Below, but she found them at just like a typical like big box store, you know?
We're playing a show tomorrow. These will be on stage with us proudly.
Oh, also shameless self-promotion because I think this F will be out in time. If you
Thank
if you
you.
happen to hear this and you are someone who likes good music like what we were talking about earlier, my band Foreign Words is putting out a single on the 24th of April. It's called American Beauty. I'm hyped about it. I think it's a really good song. I think people will like it. It's not just like overly self-indulgent bullshit like most of the Foreign Words. It's actually like a song that you can listen to. So
It's
yeah,
like,
check it out.
If
Pre-save
Block
it.
Party and Blink 182. had Just joking.
POV,
No,
you
it's
found a gay Republican who voted for Trump. I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah.
He'll do like a POV video where it's like, POV, you're a punk band in 2024. And then it's like him making fun of Green Day for like singing about how fascism is bad. And it's like, dude, that's what punk music has always been, you stupid motherfucker. And no one cares that you're gay. Like, no one gives a shit that you're gay. Like, that was such a out of left field thing for me, always with that guy. Like, POV, you're a Republican, and also you like to take it in the ass. Like, those things aren't mutually exclusive. And no one ever thought they were.
No.
And you should probably stop doing what you're doing.
If there's some sort of war or alien invasion, you're first to go, buddy.
You're
on
getting probed
You're on
hella.
the front lines. Okay. Thanks everyone
Yeah,
for
check
listening.
out the Foreign Word single.
Much love. Yeah. Please.
Pre-save.
It's super dope. Check it out. All right. Bye.
All right, peace.